get the gate right to the sight sex. Leave the fire and the roof style stuff. I said, grind up and chasing the stars. From Millmore to Du Valley, we've come so far. Talk about legends, yeah, we know the score. Ronnie and Bobby, we remember you more. From the highs of the Wembley fight to losing our trousers, still we ignite. Red and white with the pride, we're never gonna bow. Fighting like middlemen, hear the roar now. We're middlemen, we stand up tall. Through ups and downs, we give it all. From Millmore to Du Valley.
Good evening and welcome to our latest instalment of Midweek Millers. I'm your host, Mr. David Besley, or as people call me, Bez. He's back on this podcast. It's Mr. King Lee Bush. How are you getting on, sir?
Yeah, my voice is still a little bit croaky, but getting there. Happy to be here.
And our two episode regulars, we'll start off with the person to the bottom of my screen, and that is Pete, who was once the wisdom, wasn't you, Pete? And then you obviously removed it.
Yeah, all good, mate. Yeah, obviously.
Are you still working nights?
No, mate. I'm on days at minute, so I'm back to normal. But obviously, positive win at Tuesday. Let's take it into Saturday.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least is our ever regular Mr. Turbo Tom. Tom, how are you getting on, matey?
Really good, Dave, Bez. Really good. It's Thursday. You know, tomorrow's Friday, and then Saturday is, well, it's Saturday, isn't it? And we'll see what happens Saturday. But great to be on with yourself, Bez, as well. Lee, thanks for coming back. Well, glad to have you back, should I say. Your voice is sounding a bit better. And Pete, as always, top lad. So let's have a good show, gents.
Excellent. And you're right, it is Thursday. It is Thursday, 29th of January, 2026. And that means we have a very special birthday. The real king of Rotherham United, Mr. Ronnie Moore. He is 73 years old today. So happy birthday, King. Unfortunately, he's obviously going through a little bit of not a great patch. He's got illness, unfortunately. So what we'll do, hopefully he watches this or watches live or watches it back. Let's try and go through some of our favourite moments. So I'll start with you, Mr. Bush. So favourite Ronnie Moore moment?
Oh, there's many, mate. There's many. I think the one that stands out is when he came to the nightclub. Was known at the time, and he did a sort of speech and everything. And it actually, for the first time, I thought Rotherham were going places. It excited me. Listening to him talk and the plans he got for the club were exciting times. And for me, that stands out. Just remember being excited that Ronnie Moore were going to come back and bring the good days back, really. So, yeah, many moments, but that one stands out for me.
Good. Pete, yourself, what's your favourite Ronnie Moore moment?
That many, isn't there? It's got to be Brentford at home, ain't it, for me, when we got promotion. That's just blew my mind that day. And there's the loads, isn't there? He's still my favourite manager of all time, to be honest. Always a bit King.
And Tom, yourself?
Pete's took mine. And
Sorry,
I think
Tom.
No, you're right, mate. You're fine, pal. Honestly. But you know what? I'm going to go for the time where he said the players need to be shot against Chesterfield. But no, on a serious note, look, I think his whole tenure, certainly in the first spell, was just magical, and he did it on an absolute shoestring budget. It was back in a time, right, where you could find those little gems. Imagine signing the likes of the equivalent of Mark Robbins now. Do you know what I mean? Or finding an Alan Lee, getting a Kevin Watson. I mean, he must have been a wheeler dealer, and he was just a great man. And you know what? I think you're going to come onto it, Bez. I think you as well, Lee. I think we need that statue outside the New York Stadium Pronto.
100%.
Yeah, and we've spoken about it before. Obviously, the thing with Ronnie, obviously, a lot of football clubs do have statues of the club's heroes, and it's very rare that you do get a hero who was not only just a football manager, he was a player as well. So he's obviously got kind of both manager and footballer for Rotherham going for him. So, yeah, he really does deserve a statue, and hopefully he does get one eventually. Right, what we got in store for you tonight then? We will review the Northampton game, and hopefully it'll be a bit more positive than it has been in previous weeks. We will preview the Exeter game, and any comments that we get, any questions that we get, we will go through them as we normally do. And I'll start with those first. Got a couple already. So again, Mr. Tom Brown, can't wait for the podcast, gents. And here it is. Rotherham gaming up the Millers. All right, Rotherham gaming up your own. All right, mate. Rotherham gaming Exeter, here we come. Crown in away days. A good establishment to go down the Crown in.
Yeah, so I'll just quickly mention the Crown in away days. So obviously Jonathan is a guy I know who he goes all over watching Rotherham, and they put on a really good away day. So if you are wanting to watch Rotherham on an away day, I do recommend using them guys. It is a good crack on the bus as well, I'm led to believe. So if you are wanting to go to Exeter, I believe they've still got some spaces left. And you don't need to be a member as well, I am told. I think it's £1 or £2 more for non-members, so you still can go if you're not a member with them as well. So it's a really good one to use.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks, Lee. Right, let's move on to the Northampton Town game. So, as you know, it finished Rotherham United 2, Northampton Town 1. It was a must-win game, and Rotherham got the win. I'll give you my review first. Obviously, I didn't give it on Tuesday evening. I was on the live match reaction video. The game for me was very similar to Wimbledon. I felt first half, Rotherham were poor, Northampton were the better side, and they were deservedly 1-0 up. And the second half, I thought Rotherham, they were probably slightly better than Northampton, and I felt that they probably just about deserved to win the game. You look at the stats, and the stats are in Rotherham's favour, not just the shots, but the possession this time, obviously, against Wimbledon. Possession we had was extremely low, whereas against Northampton, I think it was like 60%. And that must be one of the biggest percentages that we've had in a long, long time. We very rarely have high passing percentages. And that must show, I mean, no disrespect to Northampton, but it must show how poor they really are. And I quite like their manager, Kevin Nolan. I think he's done a good job. He's only been in a year or year and a half. He took over from previous manager who had done an excellent job, who had got them promoted. And I always found that Kevin Nolan knew how to set up defensively. And my only concern with the Tuesday result was that we still didn't score a goal from open play. Both goals that we scored were a corner and then a free kick, which whether it was a free kick, I'm not really sure. Looked at dubious to me. But again, you've got to give some credit to Joe Powell. Both balls into the box were exceptional, and he's had a lot of stick this year from his set pieces, and he got those two absolutely spot on, and that's what won us the game. My man at match, I think it was between a couple, the two young lads, Dan Gore, who came on, obviously, and Harry Gray. I'm going to give it Harry Gray because he did play the whole game as opposed to Dan Gore, who only played like half the game. And I think you can see what that guy's about, Harry Gray. And I'm not going to be one of these who sits here and says he's going to go on to play for England, because you just don't know what's going to happen. But he does look to have a lot of quality, and hopefully he could continue with the goals. Now, I'm going to move on to yourself, Lee. I know you did a little bit of a match reaction on Tuesday after the game, but what were your own thoughts? Obviously, we're 2 days old now. Have your thoughts changed from Tuesday? What did you think of the game? You're on mute, Lee. You're on mute, mate.
Don't put mute on to keep coughing. First off, I thought it was like taking your lad when he's first ever played football with his mates on the park, and none of them can keep the ball in play. It was an awful game of football, probably the two worst sides in the division playing each other. And that's what it looked like. But I did say after the game, I didn't really care how we played as long as we won the game. It was all about winning the game. And for me, people are going on as though we were brilliant second half. I don't think we was. I thought we played okay in spells. We scored from set pieces, not open play. And I think we've got to take into consideration we will not play a worse team this season. I think they're worse than Port Vale, Northampton. They were absolutely awful. Now, we got the win, so it shows there's the team spirit there. But should we be struggling against when we've got players like Dango, we've got Gray, we've got so many good players in that team? Should we be struggling to beat Northampton at home, just winning 2-1? I don't think we should. I think we are currently in the same position last year. We had 9 points more under Steve Evans. Yeah, 9 points more. Yeah, and everybody at this point was in agreement they wanted Steve Evans gone. Yeah. There's still people wanting this fraud to continue as manager. And I'm telling you now, if we keep him all season, we will be relegated. There's no two ways about it. So I'm still not, I'm sure, out. I'm still not happy with the performances. Scraping wins against piss poor teams like Northampton. There's some positives in there, some positive performances, but you have got moments of brilliance that's bailed you out. You've got a wonder kid that's way too good to be playing for us, scoring one. You've got another wonder kid that's way too good to be playing for us. They ain't the future of Rotherham United. So people are going on, oh, we're building. He's got a young team. They're not the future of Rotherham United. There's no way we keep Dango and there's no way we keep Gray. So we're not building a future with these players. Doesn't matter if they're 30 odd years old. These are not staying at Rotherham United for the future. Yeah, they're here to keep us up. Hopefully they do. But realistically, with that squad, a competent manager gets us top 10 with that squad. I'm convinced by it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything you said there, Lee. We will obviously come on to Exeter later on, but so are you saying that the 4 points you just accumulated and the performances doesn't give you confidence to go on and win at Exeter? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, we should beat Exeter. Let's bear no bones about it. We should be beating Exeter. But we're going there saying we don't actually know. We still didn't get 2 halves of good football. We still only played in moments. So nobody can hand on heart tell me we're going to go to Exeter and win. That's not good enough for Rotherham United. I'm sorry, but it's not. And people will say, oh, it's injuries, it's this. Hey, the guy has poorly managed injuries, poorly managed players, and a lot of the injuries are down to his poor man management. And I stand by that.
Okay. P, so P, obviously, you've heard Lee's thoughts there, obviously very similar to what he said on Tuesday. You've heard myself thoughts. What are your thoughts? Are you still agreeing with what you said on Tuesday, or have you changed it? What were your thoughts on the game?
My thoughts on game, I thought poor first half. If it weren't for Dango coming on, we wouldn't have won that game for me. I know everybody's talking about Harry Gray, how good he were, but Argo with Dango are outstanding. We don't win that game without him for me, sorry. And same with Rafferty. I thought that was a proper captain's performance in his natural position because we're playing 4 at the back. Everybody can see the 3 at the back don't work, but he's insisting to play it all the time. And it's not going to work. We're going to play it extra, aren't we? We're going to play 3 at back. Then he's going to change it halfway through again. So what's the point? Just play 4 from the back from the start. Then we've got half a chance, haven't we? Instead of chasing game all the time. That's my thoughts on... I'm still with Lee about Amshaw. I don't want Amshaw as the manager. We're a decent manager. We get top 10 easy with that team. No questions. That's my thoughts.
Again, I agree with that. I mean, what I will say is, and I did kind of say it last week on Monday's show, I still don't believe he did tweak the formation to it was a 4-4-2 in either game. Like I did, because a lot of fans were saying that after the Wimbledon game, they felt that it had gone to a 4-4-2. I checked. There's a guy on YouTube. I can't remember his channel name. He goes to pretty much every home game, and what he does is he vlogs the game and he records a lot of like the incidents. So if there's an attack by the home side, he'll record that. If there's an attack by the away side, he'll record that. And I watched. So he sits behind the goal, so you can see the formations quite clearly. And I watched the Wimbledon on his kind of log, and I was looking to see if there were evidence that had gone to back four, and I don't think there were. I think there were one kind of attack where you could say that looks like a back four, but it was only because if you noticed, a lot of people thought we were overlapping. So like Rafferty was overlapping Coletta, and you're right, he was, but he was overlapping from centre half. That's what I felt. So he would overlap, and the two centre halves remaining would like move centrally. And then when Rafferty dropped back in, he'd go into back three. And I still claim that's what he did in the both Wimbledon and the Northampton games. Tom, similar to obviously Lee and Pete, I know you gave your thoughts on Tuesday. We are a couple of days later. Have any of your thoughts changed, or is everything the same? You still want the manager out, I'm assuming. What were your overall thoughts of the game?
I think it was. I mean, the game itself. The first half was terrible. It was terrible. Even Tom Eves didn't celebrate against us. I'd have gone, sod that. I'm going to run around the pitch because it was collectively awful. And then second half comes round, and once again, and I keep banging on about this. We can go on. We're going about we have a good first half performance. We have a good second half performance. They're not performances. They're individual performances. We need a team, a collective performance, which I'm yet to see. Joe Powell, two fantastic deliveries. Dan Gore, brilliant. If Nombe gets on the end of that sort of Gaza 1996 against Germany slide in the semi-final of Euro 96, do you know what? Great. But once again, it was two set pieces. Rafferty, put his body on the line, put a captain's performance in. Young Gray, brilliant. He was fantastic. But you know what? End of the day, Gray's Gray, and Gray's not going to be here next season. And I completely agree with Lee. We were on about this rebuild, and this is Rotherham United. We're not keeping Gore. We're not keeping Gray. Nombe arguably is going to be gone at the end of the season. And anything else that we've got, even if we stay up, what we did do is Adebayoga saved our season for a week until Saturday. So we need to go and back that up on Saturday and win at all costs. Because at one point, that was a definition of a 6-pointer against Northampton. It was a definition of a 6-pointer. They win that, where what would it have been? 7 points behind Northampton. That could have been an utter disaster, right? And then I don't even know what we'll be talking about tonight. Strip clubs in Rotherham again, I'm assuming. But I mean, look, thank God we won that game. But it's not. It's just to me that's not. It's not progress. We're going on about we've won 4 points. We played Wimbledon and we played Northampton. Now we've got Exeter. Nothing short of a win away at Exeter will do the job, personally. Otherwise, it's game over again.
Go on, Lee.
We should. I mean, the two games we're playing, it's not acceptable. We've got 4 points. We should have 6. We played Wimbledon at home and Northampton. There should be 6 points. And in both of the games, we haven't played that well. It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
we could have lost both games. We could have, in theory, lost both games. That's how bad it is.
If we lose Saturday, this win on Tuesday means nothing, doesn't it?
Exactly, Pete. Exactly.
With regards to the performances, I think you're right, Lee. I don't think the performances were brilliant, but yet again, we're seeing like half an hour of good performances in like both games. So a lot of people would say the Wimbledon game and Northampton game, Rotherham improved in the second half. But let's face it weren't the full half of the Wimbledon game. It was half an hour. They made that sub or the 3 subs in Wimbledon game, and that obviously cost us. And again, similar to Northampton, it was probably just half an hour, and we managed to grab the 2 goals. And does it worry you, I guess? It was something that both you, Lee, and Tom said. Does it worry that our best players are really the lone players? Like, you could argue that Dango, Harry Gray, possibly Jamal Baptiste, they're probably our best 3 players. That's your spinier team as well, and none of them will year. Now, Lee, I know you mentioned that Baptiste, there was a chance, and apparently he does want to sign, or he'd be interested in signing to stay in League One. I first think that Gray, because he's young, he's 17, it obviously depends how well he does. I think we could get him on loan again. If he went and scored 10 goals, no chance he'll go to a championship club. If he scored like 4 or 5, I think that'd just be enough for leagues to send him back on loan. Dango, agreed, no chance. So does it worry you, Lee, that our best players are all loan players?
It always worries me because for the past, how many seasons have we had this? Last year, Malik Wilkes was our best player. He was on loan. And that's the model that we're going by. So all this nonsense, it's a rebuild. We're not building anything. Even the new signing we signed on a permanent went a long-term permanent. We took over the contract. So we're not investing in players' future to say, right, we believe in you. We're going to give you 3 or 4 years at Rotherham United. Yeah, solid foundations of good young players. We're not doing that. If we were doing that, I'd buy the nonsense of, yeah, we're building a young squad, we're doing this, but we're not, because we're not even giving them long-term deals. It's just a means to an end. Gray's here to keep us up. I disagree because I have heard that obviously they wanted to try Gray in the League One before the Championship. If he does well this season, they'll want him in the Championship. And he may even skip the Championship and go and help Leeds. That's how I leaves thought of. There's no chance we'll get him next season. I don't believe at all. I think he'll be either in Leeds' first team or he'll be in the Championship, same as Dango. We ain't going to keep him. Then we're going to find somebody else again, and we're just not good at doing it. We're going to lose Sam Nombe unless some investment comes in. I think it's worrying times. I really do. We don't seem to be able. I mean, when was the last player that we really wanted to keep, that we get a new contract to, that tied him down? I think it was Victor, the last one.
Yeah.
Well, it was Vic, but it was Victor with like things included, wasn't it? So he signed a contract. As long as a certain offer came at a certain price, would let him go.
Yeah.
So, well, at least he signed. And before that, Lee, I can't think of anybody. I genuinely can't.
But our fans are crazy. Tom, listen, our fans are crazy. I remember fans saying Ollie Rathbone wasn't good enough for us. Look at him now.
Ollie Rathbone was probably Evans' biggest mistake. In my opinion.
I don't think he had a choice. I don't think he had a choice.
I was about to say, and I think he took out Evans' hands, to be fair, that Tom. He released last year.
What did we get from Rathbone? What did we get for him?
It's about 300,000, I think. Well, he was sold. He was sold a week before the season started and never replaced. But Evans backed so bad, so well. He wasted all this money. He had to sell Victor. He had no choice. He had to sell Ollie Rathbone. He had no choice. He had to sell Christ T. Had no choice. He had to sell Kioso. Had no choice. So all these players left and never replaced with freebies. Apparently blew the budget according to the I'm sure lovers.
Well, that picture today, Lee, that we seen, I sent you about where Evans was this time last season, where Amateur is. It speaks absolute volumes. It is mental.
9 points.
9 points is massive. Is massive. And I don't know. I have no idea. But
if you remember,
do you know
people were
what?
calling for Evans out after the Barnsley game.
Yeah, which is like
We're
November.
Yeah.
I think we're about 10th at that stage.
I don't think Evans ever got a fair crack of the whip from some of the fans, to be honest with you.
No.
People, whether you like him or not, and we all do, I think all players only liked him. Some people just didn't like his persona. It's as simple as that, really. Not everyone's going to like everyone else. But when he was successful the first time, they couldn't really say anything. Right, I'm going to talk about a couple of players from the Northampton game. Before I do that, let's go through some comments. We've got quite a few. So, Romoff, hey up, lads. Hey up, Romoff. Welcome again to the podcast.
Good lad,
Joining. Thought Raff in that second half proper captain stuff. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Rafferty. And Joe, what? Let's talk about Rafferty. We've not really spoken about him. So Joe Rafferty was signed by Steve Evans as a right back. You can definitely tell that he's a leader on the pitch, and I'm assuming he's a leader in the dressing room as well. He's consistently playing out of position at right centre half. And yeah, sometimes he does make mistakes and makes the wrong decisions. But apart from that, I would say overall he's been quite good this season. What are your thoughts on Joe Rafferty, Fee?
Yeah, I like Rafferty, but he's better in his natural position as a right back, isn't he? I don't like him at centre half. Also, we need to play for it back to accumulate him as a right back. But is he going to do that? He's not, is he?
No.
I do like Rafferty. I think he's good as a natural position though, not as centre half.
Would you offer him a new contract end of season?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, could be a good squad. Pele Rafferty. Yeah.
Tom, would you offer him a contract, Rafferty, end of season?
It depends what league we're in, isn't it? League 2, 100%. League 1, would he stay with us? I don't know. Maybe if he's club captain. I do like him. I think his work rate's fantastic, and he gives his all. To be fair, he might not be right, good in the sense that. But I thought, to be fair to him, on Tuesday, he pulled his socks up, and he probably got us that win in the end. Not the win as it were, but he was there as an absolute leader because we severely lack leaders on that pitch. The leaders on that pitch are the young kids, which is, you've gone wrong there when you've got the likes of Dan Gore and Gray going, come on, let's get into it. Do you know what I mean? There's something really wrong. But Rafferty, I think he can hold his head high. So, yeah, do you know what? I agree, Pete. I probably would give him something, yes.
Well, what is interesting, and I think about it when you were talking then, is when we got on that 9-game unbeaten run, the first game that we won was Northampton away, wasn't it? And we were 1-0 down, 2-1. So, do you know what? There could be a chance that we go on a similar unbeaten run this time. I'm not saying it will, but there could be a chance. What about you, Lee? Would you keep Rafferty or would you let him go?
I definitely keep Rafferty. I think he's a victim of Matt Amshaw ball, playing him out of position. When players are played out of position, they're going to make mistakes. It's not their natural position. I don't think he's comfortable in the centre half position. I don't think he's tall enough to be that position. But I think he played his heart out. He's doing his best in what he's been given. He's a promotion winner from this league, so we know he can do it. Play him in his right position. You've probably got one of the best fullbacks in the league. But he doesn't. And that's the problem. He's playing too many players out of position.
Yeah, agreed. And obviously Dan Gore, absolute game changer. And one good thing about Dan Gore, which I like, we all know he's a good player. We all know he's probably our best player, or one of the best players at least. He's been out for 3-4 weeks, and he just stepped straight in and dominated that midfield straight away. That's how good Dan Gore is. I have to say, I'm very surprised that we managed to keep him in January. I really am. He should be. I think he's wasted at Rotherham. He probably should be at a championship club. And not only a championship club, I think he should be at a team who's aiming for the top 6, personally. Wayne Hale, come on, you Reds. Yeah, come on, you Reds. Rotherham United. Agree, mate. Raf second half stepped up, but first half he was shocking, just constantly lumping it up. Wasn't able to pull my hair out. And to be fair, it's not just Rafferty, but I found that the two outside centre halves, Rafferty, I think it was Jules, the other one, I felt that there were no options in midfield. There were no Dangor, obviously, in that first half, and they had no choice but to whack it long. That's what I felt. And to me, this is a symptom of Hampshire and his tactics, because Hampshire needs to tell whoever the midfielder is, obviously it won't go, Yearwood sometimes does it, they need to show football in midfield, and the pass needs to go into midfield. I see almost every single opposition do it, even Exeter, even Northampton do it, and their teams are arguably worse than us. They're just obviously better coached than we are. That's how I see it.
That's the difference with Dangor, isn't it? He asks for the ball and he keeps it.
He does,
That's
yeah.
the difference. That's the difference. That's why we need him.
Yeah. Big Dog in 1984 had a mission at match fairs. He's just scored more goals than Hugo this season. Dango and Harry Gray will keep us up. I'm not going to talk about Jordan Hugo again. Rotherham United, Greeley, he's so lucky of the talent he has. It shows that Hampshire ain't got a clue. And he's obviously referring to what you said about the quality of the players getting him out of kind of trouble. And I'm not being funny, but I did say this, 3 months ago, and I got proper slammed down for it, Pride fans, as you know, Lee. Rotherham on a good run, and I was the one who was saying that I felt that the quality of the team was getting his wayward tactics out of trouble, and that's what I felt. And obviously, you're obviously now thinking the same. Obviously, we're obviously on the same wavelength there, Lee. Wayne Hill, you need to support Matt. I would argue we have supported him, Wayne, sorry. I'd argue we have supported him.
Yeah, no other manager goes on that run and keeps the job. So people have supported him. People are lucky they haven't lynched him.
Yeah.
Has Wigan manager been sacked, or he's still there? Because the talks for him getting sacked, isn't there?
Well, it's interesting. I think he's still there. I've not seen anything. I'd love him at our club, Ryan Lowe. People say, don't they? Oh, who would come to Rotherham? If Ryan Lowe were out of a job, especially after failing at Wigan, he'd come to Rotherham 100%. And I'd take him. I really would take him. Ian Besley, open play or off the backside defender, who cares? A goal is a goal, a win is a win. Take it and it'll build some confidence. Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. Let's hope it does build confidence. I think one thing the 4 points will have or should have done is given the players confidence. So hopefully they've got the confidence to go onto the pitch and ignore Hampshire's tactics. That's what we need to do. Then we might get a win. Romoff, Hampshire started his debt. Rob Scott is giving us a chance with the young lads. And this triggers on to Rob Scott, actually. We don't really talk about Rob Scott a lot on here. We tend to, if we're doing poorly, we'll blame Hampshire, we'll blame Stuart. So let's have a bit of a chat about Rob Scott. I'm going to start with yourself, Lee. What are your thoughts on Rob Scott? Because you've said, and we've all said, that the quality of this squad is good enough to get in top six. We all say that. And if that's the case, that must mean that Rob Scott's doing a really good job. Now, I've not seen that interview he's done. I'll be honest, I've not seen it. I will do, but I've not seen it. Don't know if you've seen it. But what are your thoughts on Rob Scott?
Personally, I think, look at it. Look at what he's done. I think he was the one that discovered Semi Ajayi. He discovered Will Vokes. He discovered Dan Barlasser. He discovered Bennett. All of these players he's discovered. Discovered Ollie Rathbone. All of these players he's discovered. Yeah, he's brought us in Gore. He's brought us in Gray. So his contacts in the game are quite good. I think personally, he's been let down by the chairman. One, because he's having to do more than one job. So I remember him getting promoted and then demoted. That must have an effect on his mental health as well, where you don't think about that at the time. But the chairman's selection of managers has been woeful. He's only really got 2 right in his whole time of being here. Possibly 3, sorry, with Neil Warnock. But I think Rob Scott has been let down by the chairman, who's employing managers that are not good enough. I think the recruitment side of it, because what you got to remember is Rob Scott probably could get us better players if we had a better budget as well. Rob Scott can only work to the budget we've got. And realistically, Michael Smith, he discovered him as well. Yeah, from Bury Reserves. I remember signing, thinking, who the hell is this crap guy we've signed? You know what I mean? like Bury reserves. But Rob Scott's found these players. So I think he's got to take some credit. I think Rob Scott, I don't think he's doing a bad job, but I think he gets let down by the financial restraints of the football club and how we handle the players once we've got them. So the fact that he found Victor Johansson as well. The list goes on when you think back at who Rob Scott's brought into this football club. Yeah. And they've got us promoted for the championship on not the highest budget. So I think Rob Scott has overperformed in his role, if I'm honest. I think it's the managers that are underperforming. And now Matt Hampshire is really letting him down because it looks bad on him. But when I look at the players, my eyes don't lie. I look at Dango. I think he's the best player in League One. Period. I don't think there's a better player in the league than Dango. I also don't believe, and I've only seen him on a couple of games, I reckon we've probably got the best striker in the league in Gray. But because you tell me any striker in League One that somebody will bid 40 million for, because Man City bid 40 million for Gray at 17. Tell me any other team that's got a player like that in their squad. They haven't. So for me, if you've got that at your disposal and you're struggling to put away Wimbledon and you're struggling to put away Northampton, serious questions asked about your tactical know-how. And yeah, he's learning on the job. I know people get upset. It's Matt from Rotherham. I get it. He could have gone to school with you. He could have been your best mate, but he's not good enough for the job. Don't hate me for it. That's just a game. It's football. He's not good enough. Sorry.
Tom, do you agree with Lee there about regarding Rob Scott? Because look, it's high praise. It's not just praise. It's high praise there from Lee because he's almost saying that he's overperformed in his job. And if he is, that's exceptional considering the standard of the club and what the if you like, inside of the football club looks like. He doesn't look very good at all. So do you agree with agreement fully there, Willie?
I agree with Lee 90% of that, to be honest with you. I think he's found some gems of players. But I also think that Scott has a bit of a power complex, in my opinion, because if you're worth your salt in any job and you're having to do more than one job, as it were, right, you're going to be banging on that chairman's door, banging at the chief executive saying, right, hang on, I found you all these players. Why am I doing all this job myself? I think that Rob Scott, as much as he finds great players, I don't think he wants to share the load, if that makes sense. I think he wants to be the man in the middle and the man in charge.
Yeah, I do actually know what you mean because you always see in everyday life, don't you, where you've got a manager and he's trying to do too much himself and he gets told, look, Gary, you need to take on another 2 or 3 people. And he's, no, I'll do it because I'll not trust anyone else, so I'll do it myself. I do know what you mean.
That's exactly what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and it does do me on to actually, because this is where I'm confused, right? So Rob Scott's original title was something like head of recruitment. That's what it were like 18 months, 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure in the last 12 months, he became head of recruitment / director of football. I'm sure that was announced by the football club. But when you hear his interview, apparently he says he's not director of football. So he
got it took off him.
What for? Why?
Because they said it wasn't working. They didn't even give it time, but the chairman all of a sudden take the role back off him.
So was that released into the press then that Rob Scott is no longer director of football? Right? Okay. Okay.
But my question is then, right? He goes on about not having any staff, all that. Is he getting paid more for doing all the jobs? I would say he is. Otherwise, he ain't going to do it.
Well, we're not going to find that, unfortunately. Pete, what's your thoughts on the whole Rob Scott? Do you rate him or not?
He's obviously he worked at Brentford and Watford as well, didn't he? Doing the same role. So obviously he's probably got a list long as his arm for players, but it's a budget. He can't sign him, can he? So he's probably found some gems in, I don't know, Norway, France. But we can't afford them, can we? Obviously, that's why we need investment. These players all come then. So I think Rob Scott's been getting a bad hand. Like, on people on X putting Rob Scott out. He's just working with tools he's got, innit? It's not his fault. You know, he can work what he's got. Like I say, staff level and stuff like that. So I don't think he's done a bad job, Rob Scott, to be honest.
I can't think of many other clubs that have got the level of players that we've got that have ended up going to the Premier League, on our sort of budget. We got him for nothing, and he should have gone for millions. Our poor management of contracts. Now, that's not on Rob Scott, the contracts, as far as I'm aware. So he's been let down there. Victor Johansson, another example. Semi Ajayi, we sold him for big money to West Brom, played in the Premier League. Dan Barlas, a top-end championship player.
Yeah, can't disagree with you.
Can I bring something up, actually, for the panel? Why is Jerry Yates signing for Sheffield Wednesday?
You'll have to ask him. I don't know. He'll be signing to get a footballing championship. That's why.
Yeah, but he's on the Titanic, isn't he? He's on the Titanic.
Yeah. But Wednesday have signed that Jaden Eske. You could argue why is he signed for Wednesday? Like what? Like why would anyone sign for him?
Yeah, but he gets to jump. He gets to jump on a lifeboat, doesn't he, Eske, and paddle back to Manchester.
Can I ask
you? Yates is a Rotherham-born lad. I'm telling you, I'm quite upset about it.
Born in Doncaster, Yates, I think.
Oh well, yeah, Donny. Sorry, yeah, but still.
Sorry, guys. Can I just say something? Jerry Yates, right. If Matt Amshaw is such a good manager, so Evans, when he come as manager, players that played for him before would come and join him. Why have we had nobody like Jerry Yates? He played with him at Derby. He was at Derby, Jerry Yates, with Matt Amshaw.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Well, surely he's a local lad, guaranteed goals in this league. 100% he'll score goals in this league. Why has Matt Amshaw not rung him up and said, come and join me at Rotherham? I don't think because people don't like the actual facts. Matt Amshaw is not a very nice guy. He's not likable. Yeah. Nobody that he got from Derby has come to join him. You speak to the players, they're not keen on him. Yeah. A few of them preferred Steve Evans than Matt Amshaw. And that's a fact. Yeah. That's come from players, not from me, come from players. Yeah. So why can he not attract players that he had at Derby with Paul Warne that do well? Like a Caden Jackson, somebody like that. Jerry Yates is gone. I mean, Ben Wiles dropped a division to go to MK Dons, sign for Paul Warne over Matt Amshaw because Matt Amshaw wanted him. No burns about that. Matt Amshaw wanted him. Obviously, MK have got more money, but if you love Rotherham like these people claim they do, as a Rotherham lad, surely he signs for Rotherham. He didn't. Peace out.
I agree with that. I think we've missed the trick with Yates. To be honest with you, I really do.
Yeah,
I think we should.
Yeah, I agree as well. Yeah, I'll be honest. He was one of my. At the start of the season, he was one of my transfer targets because I knew get a game for. I think he was at Derby. He weren't playing. He was one of my transfer targets. Mm-hmm. Right. More comments. That first half is literally the worst game I've seen in my years. Yeah, can't disagree with you. He will never do any better until he stops chucking a full halfway. I think he's about. I'm sure. Yeah, agree. Rotherham United, no consistency. 1 win in 10. 7 wins, 13 losses. If he wants to step up and keep his job, then he needs to be hammering to. So we need a winning run, not like the poxy one we had earlier this season. Yeah, fully agree, Rotherham. Tom Morton is a good lad. Good detail on the game and good for watching it back rather than a 2-minute highlight. Yeah, agreed. Rotherham United Footed. That is right. Yeah, it is him. You're right. Rotherham Footed. That's the channel I was looking at. We are giving Exeter too much respect. We beat them 1-0 when we were shy and defending them on the attack code. They were confident as we should. Ronnie Silver, it took its toll on Bush's health. Yeah. Spencer's good as well. Agree, Roma don't want to be a worn cult. Remember the differences in League One we hammered teams and he set up just to go full out. But Hampshire itself is a joke for League One. Russ, evening lads. Yeah, evening Russ, welcome. Hope you're well, mate. Roma, despite age ID, I'd give Rafferty and James another year. I won't disagree with that, to be fair. I felt James has done okay as well. And Big Dog, 100% new deal for Rafferty, agrees with Romoff. It shows how I'm sure is that we are shocking with players of this caliber. He's got Woody and Tonga as serious time served players and seen it all and still doing no. And yeah, I have to say, just on that, Richard Wood and Dale Tongue don't get away with it either. As soon as like Hampshire does go, Woody's a bit of a legend at the club. I get it, but he has to go along with Dale Tongue as well. It needs a whole shift. And is it Warrington who's still there? He needs to go as well. It just, in my opinion. I was just going to say, imagine what Rob Scott brings with a profit team and cash. Yeah, we'll just be speaking about that. Right, Paul Ramage, why doesn't Rob Scott have a crack at being our manager? Could be the answer. That's interesting. Obviously, his brother was a manager who was successful. Then obviously he was terrible at Rotherham, weren't he? I mean, poor Rob Scott, he can't do another job. We've already agreed he's doing about 5 jobs as it is.
to answer Paul's thing there, Rob Scott in the interview said that he's a terrible manager. He openly admitted
he's actually said that himself.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Hi, I'm Bez's biggest fan. Hello, Bez's biggest fan. Welcome. With Rob Scott, I think he would just be a recruitment guy at another club, but at Rotherham, he's a big hitter at the top end of the club. And do you know what? I think that is probably why, because when you were speaking there, Lee, and you were giving him high praise, and you weren't just giving high praise of the job he was doing, you were giving him high praise the job he's doing inside a really toxic environment. And I was thinking, if he were that good, why has he kind of moved on to someone else? And I wonder if there's a reason why. Go on, Lee.
Well, he's local. He's the top dog. I think he enjoys that status of being the big I am at the club. Because I honestly thought when one went to Derby, I thought he'd take Rob Scott with him.
Really? Okay. Yeah, because he did. Yeah, he took everyone else, didn't he? Just not Rob Scott. Yeah. Interesting. I couldn't believe that I was reading on Wednesday when they were linked with Yates. Yeah, we've just spoke about that. I can't really be a good sign for them. We won't help him because the doomed already. He was minute of that full year. He was. And decent at Derby. Yes, he was. Ross, sorry, who recalls that own goal from Rob Scott v. Wolves at Milton League Cup? Yeah. Where he weren't it? Top corner. Were you there, Pete? Were you there at the game?
I was there, yeah. And Branston's as well when he sliced it in it.
Yeah.
That was another good own goal, wasn't it?
At least he won the penalty shootout in that Wolves game. I mean, he'd have got a right idea when Rob Scott if we'd not lost him. And actually, just quickly, we'll not touch it too long, but Pete, did you see Rob Scott as a good Rotherham player, or average, or not good?
It was steady, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't do all wrong, really, did he? He was just a steady player, wasn't he? Well, first he was a striker, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Then he moved to right back. And he had that long throw, didn't he?
Yeah.
What always worked for us. He was a steady player, I thought, Rob Scott.
Marvin Bryan, all day long. Marvin Bryan.
Lee, did you like Rob Scott as a player?
Yeah, I thought he was decent. I thought he was decent. I think we signed him for a record fee. Was it from Fulham?
75k, weren't it? I think it was 75k.
At the time, it was kind of close to being a top fee for us. But yeah, I thought he was decent.
Right, let me just read this one last comment. Rob Scott started up front at Fulham. Yeah, I think you're right, Russ. Right, we've got about 10-15 minutes left. Let's move on to Exeter City away from home on Saturday, so in a couple of days' time. I need my head checking because I'm going to the game. I don't know why. I am going to the game, though. Obviously, 3.5, 4 hour drive down. I have got some stats like I will always get now for the away game. So, Exeter are currently 11th in the league, so just mid-table. The issue is their last 5 games, they've won 3, drawn 2, lost none. Now, of the 5 games, a lot of them have been against like the lower clubs. One of them, though, was Stevenage. And one was away at Huddersfield as well. So that doesn't bode too well, if I'm honest. Manager's still Gary Caldwell. They play like a 3-4-1-2. So like 2 strikers, 1 attacking midfielder, 4 across and 3 centre halves. The good thing about that with Rotherham is that they've only got 2 wing backs, and therefore they shouldn't overrun us if we play a wing back system as well. Whereas obviously Northampton, they were playing wingers and wing backs. So hopefully that goes for us. They've scored 33 goals, which is not a lot. Considering the 11th in league and they're on a good run, that puts them at 18th in league 16th in league for league goals. So it's below halfway. But they have conceded only 26, which is the second best in the league. So in order for us to get out of the game, we're going to have to score against one of the best defenders in the league, which is a bit worrying. I think if they score first, we've probably had it, unfortunately. Their top goal scorer is a guy called Jaden Wareham. He's got 10 goals, which is good. He signed from Reading on a free transfer. So I'll come to Tom first. Exeter away. Now, I still see it as a must-win because I did say that we needed 7 points as a minimum from these 3 games, and we've got 4. If we'd have beaten Wimbledon like we should have done, I'd have took a draw in because we need a win, in my opinion. Which, bearing in mind I've just said, Exeter are mid-table and on a good run of form, I think that's going to be quite difficult. What are your thoughts on the game, Tom?
Well, first and foremost, it's Exeter. Right, I don't care about league positions. Right, it's bloody Exeter. Right, Exeter. Right, it's a lovely place in the world, I might add. Nice train station. No, not an awful place, Lee. It's got a nice train station and a decent pub near it. However, it's Exeter. I don't care where they are. We go to Exeter and we smash their back doors in a metaphorical way.
Now, Tom, right? Let me just stop you there for 1 second, right? Do you know, if you look at the league table and you click on away, who's bottom of the away league table in our league?
Probably us.
Correct. How many games have Rotherham won away this season?
2.
Correct. And how many draws have they got?
3.
Oh, good shout, but not quite 2, right? They've only scored 9 goals. Port Vale are above Rotherham in the away league table. So with that in mind, why do you think we're going to go to Exeter and beat and hammer them?
Because we've got Harry Gray, we've got Sam Nombe, we've got Dango, right? We've got Harry Gray, who I have always said I'll not speak about this 17-year-old, but do you know what? Sod it, I'm going to speak about him because he's special, right? We should go there with a game plan of not like, well, let's conserve the game. Let's go there and absolutely terrorize them, right? And absolutely smash them, right? None of this all tippy nonsense. Go and batter them, right? Let's have it. I'm going, for me, right? I know the form book will say Exeter, blah, 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 but it's a game of football at the end of the day. We're going to win 3-1 on Saturday against Exeter. I'm telling you, I will Exeter gently. So, yeah.
Okay. Lee, on to yourself. Surely what I've said about stats and what have you has got to put you off a win, but you go. What are your thoughts?
Right. Name one. I want to put this back to you, Bess. Name one Exeter player you'd take in our team. In fact, if you did a combined 11, how many Exeter players would you take over ours? I don't think I'd take
Let me just see who they've got in their starting lineup for us. So
well, I'll tell you one thing. They ain't got a player better than Dango. They ain't got a player better than Archie Gray. You haven't got a better player than Kean Spence.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
I think a big thing is, lads, is right. You got to remember,
The only leveler, they've got a better manager than us.
that is leveler.
I don't get that's the most important thing.
But Sam Nombe and Zach Jules are ex-players. Get your money on Nombe and Jules to score.
Yeah, so not many, like Sam Nombe would walk into their team.
Yeah.
Gore would walk into their team. Spence would walk into their team. Gray would walk into their team. Baptiste would walk into their team. Rafferty would probably walk into their team. Dawson would probably walk into their team. The only change out of, if I was doing a combined 11, is I'd swap their manager for our manager. That's it. So, to your point, they're going to ignore Matt Hamshaw and we're going to win 2-0.
Okay. No, and to be fair, like, you know, I've tried my hardest to kind of put you off saying Rotherham win, both yourself and Tom. And you're right, you know, if you do look at the lineups, and no disrespect, I don't recognise a lot of their players. I'm someone who I tend to know quite a lot. So yeah, I do take your point. Pete, last foot and third our leagues. Are you as confident as these two guys or these two clowns?
I'm going to be positive after Tuesday. If we'd have lost Tuesday, we wouldn't have won at Exeter. So I think we'll win 2-0. We'll keep a clean sheet as well. Gray and Nombe. Strike force. Oh, yeah.
Nombe's definitely scoring against
2-0, mate. Definitely.
So
now we've got that win. I think we've got a bit of confidence, haven't we now? Well, we should have.
And do you think we'll start with 3-5-2, change to 4-4-2, and we'll score 2 goals?
He's gonna change, isn't he?
Okay. He's not going to change. For me, I still don't think he has changed to 4-4-2. I think sometimes when you look at the pitch, it looks like I don't think he has, personally. Okay, so I love the confidence. You know, the worst away team in the history of the league, and they're going to go and win at Exeter.
We won at Barnsley, though, didn't we?
Confidence.
You don't know.
We've got better players than them.
Yeah, I agree.
Bushy, yeah. We have got better players.
First 11. Yeah, we've got better players than them. Forget the league table. Forget all of that nonsense. Yeah, on the day, 11v11, we should win.
You just need to set up right, and we'll beat them.
They've also, as well, not to put you up even more, they've won their last 4 home games in a row. Not conceding a goal.
I don't care.
It changes Saturday.
Runs come to an end, and if I was Hampshire, right, I'd flip it up because they'll be expecting the old 3-5-2, won't they?
Yeah.
4-4-2. Let's have it. Let's go and have it.
Hampshire's not clever enough to do that. That's the only problem.
No.
Okay, as I said, I do like the confidence. So let's just go through some more comments. Paul Ramage, he had a long throw until his shoulder fell out. Yeah, I can just remember that when his shoulder first came out, and every time to go on throw after that, you were worried his shoulder going to come out every time. Nombe going to be gagging to score Exeter. He will have no nerves, and he's not had a game where he's been fully fit yet. Yeah, agreed. Rotherham Gaming thinks it's going to be 1-1. Yeah, just while we're on for a few more minutes, if everyone wants to get their score predictions in the chat and also get who they think is going to score the goals. So Rotherham Gaming's gone 1-1. Russ, I played against Marvin Bryan when he retired. He played for Maltby Manor and worked for Polypipe Driving and lived on Rotherham Road in Maltby, if memory serves me right. And we mentioned Marvin with Bushy mentioned him. Yeah, okay.
Love Marvin. Go on, Marvin.
Roma, I think we are beating Exeter. Hope you're right. 2-1. Fair enough. We've got a better team than before, and we won that one. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. We did win the reverse fixture, and you have got a better team now. And one excuse that I'm sure can't have after this game is injuries, because apart from like Denzel Hall, Coyote's not a miss. You'd argue that Douglas is not a massive miss, although he has played quite well. These aren't key players apart from Denzel Hall, so he's not got that excuse.
The question is go on, Bushy.
Sorry, can we just do a welfare check for Coyote? Is he still alive?
Well, you did listen to our podcast last Monday. We did actually talk about this. I was not worried for him. I checked my cupboard here, but he weren't there. So
He
he
lives with Lenny Agbairi, apparently. So
makes you laugh though. Paul Davis has forgotten about him because Paul Davis, I'm sure you've seen it, Lee. Paul Davis put a tweet on saying we had one injury in the whole camp, which was Denzel Hall. Someone replied and said, "What about Benson?" He went, "Oh yeah, I forgot about him. I'll just rewrite the article." And then, what about Coyote? What about Douglas? I'm sure there's others as well. Just useless, that guy.
I think we need a weekly feed.
You need to watch back our podcast from Monday because we have like a 5-minute segment where we just proper go into him, really. Not doing his job right.
A weekly thing should be, where is Joshua Coyote? Like, where's Wally? Where's Coyote? Right? And then we'll have a discussion.
Yeah, we should do that. Yeah, we should do that. Yeah. I feel like this game is a massive example of whether Hampshire is learning. Yeah, I agree with that.
Great point.
They might not have better players, but they have better attitude, work ethic, and push for the game. And I agree with this, Lee.
Yeah,
Paul Ramage. Do you agree with Paul Ramage there, Lee? It's not always about quality.
I think, it is difficult because I do think the players try. I wouldn't say we've got a lack of effort. I think we've got a lack of tactics, and there's a difference. So when a team is tactically inept, it can make players look worse than what they actually are as footballers. And it can make them look like they're not trying because they're not in position, they're out of position. It all looks a bit of a mess. And the players get the blame for that. But actually, you've seen there is fight in this team because we've come back to win games often. I just think the manager is tactically inept. The players are digging him out, helping him, but still at times, that's why we can't play well for a full game because we're tactically not set up right to do that. It's just not going to work. We've got to win it on moments.
Bez, can I reply to Paul here? And I know exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, go on.
The team with the effort will always beat the team with the ability unless the team with the ability has the effort to match. Leave it at that.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Big dog, 94. Whitworth goalkeeper on loan from Palace much better than Dorset. It would have been a lot more than 1-0 when we beat them at home. He made some great saves. Yeah, again,
but what I will say is Dawson's been promoted from this league. Whitworth.
Well, the thing with Dawson as well, we'll just touch on Dawson quickly. I'm actually not.
Statistically, is the top goalie in the league.
I know, yeah, but it's easy when you get peppered every game. I don't like Dawson. I never have liked him. I don't like signing Wednesday for starters, but I don't really rate him. I still felt that Dylan Brooks was a better goalkeeper. Obviously, he was.
No.
I'm not
I do. That's just my opinion. But Dawson, to be fair, has done okay. Now, he still concerns you when he comes out and catches, because if you looked on Tuesday, he caught the ball and dropped it 3 or 4 times, but luckily there were no Northampton players to stab it in or whatever.
Most modern keepers do, even in the Premier League.
I disagree. Johansson didn't do that.
There's bigger problems.
No,
you remember us conceding a goal when he dropped it and they scored. There's bigger problems.
I'm going to go on to that, yeah.
And how we're set up than the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's produced the most saves in the whole league. That's a fact. I'm not saying he's world class. I'm not saying he's the best keeper, but realistically, he ain't a keeper that gets you relegated.
So would you offer him a new deal then, Lee, end of season, or bring another goalkeeper in?
I'll bring another goalkeeper in purely because he's on decent money as well. So
can I just say
I don't think he's terrible.
I think we need to go back to the Warren model of loaning a goalkeeper from higher up the leagues.
No, I disagree completely. I used to hate that because I found that a goalkeeper would come in, it'd take him 6 months to get used to defence, and he'd only have 4 months left, and he'd go, and that process have to start again. If you look at the goalkeepers we had, like Rodak, he was there for 2 years, Rodak. So the first year, I felt he was average in League One, and then he really stepped up in the Championship, and that's because he had 2 years. I thought Jensen was quite poor. Like I didn't rate him at all. Obviously, we had the Derby lad that was terrible. Who was that? Sorry, Lee.
We had Martinez as well.
Yeah, that was only for about 6 or 7 games, that one, but that was before. That was Warnock wearing it, not him, not Warnock.
I think what I'm Martinez was Evans actually, but
yeah, he was. You're right. Yeah,
we had Rodak, Iverson, Martinez, and then we struck gold with getting Vickers and Johansson.
Yeah,
Josh Vickers actually has just signed a new deal for Derby County, by the way.
Yeah, because so we're talking about signing, weren't you?
2029. Yeah, 2029. So I don't know. Do we look at that a lone Prem goalkeeper again? A third choice Prem, just in the interim. But,
no, as Lee said, this transfer window, which has got like 3 days left in it.
I don't.
There's no point. Yeah,
you can't do it now. But I mean, yeah.
Paul Ravage draw 2-2 Exeter. Big Dog agreed player for play. We should beat them easily. Yeah, that's what I just said. Russ 1-0 win for Exeter. Baptiste for record. You heard here first, lads. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Go on, Russ.
Ian Besley 2-1 Rotherham. Paul Davis interviewed the wrong that had brass publicist. Yeah, I agree. Disagree with Ravage. Wins make confidence. These players wouldn't be caught if they didn't have those attributes. Okay. Don't like signing Wednesday players. What about Woody and Wilkes? Woody a legend and Wilkes walks into the team. Yeah, I'm not saying that I dislike every Wednesday player that we had. I just don't like signing Wednesday players. Wilkes was excellent. But Wilkes was very inconsistent, don't forget. And Woody, he doesn't laugh with Richard Wood because Richard Wood's a centre-back and he's known for scoring headers. Just let that sink in. You know, I don't think defensively he was that. I think he was good, but he wasn't like, he was nowhere near like Chris Wales, nowhere near McIntosh or Arneson or anything like that. Not in my opinion, anyway. Andrew Trott, this is a tough game. They only lost to Man City this month. Yeah, we were just discussing that earlier.
9-0.
I've heard a lot say that, but I don't think he'd get his wages down for a number two.
He's had too much money to be a number two.
And
by the way, I think if I'm sure still manager, we'll give him a new contract.
Okay, they need to have the place again. Agreed to goalkeepers like Vickers and Johansson. Yeah, they fought for their place. The thing is, we've had a very good keepers and Dorsey's nowhere near them. As for Phillips, I thought he was really blind in some games. And then there's only one for Ramage. Right, the last thing I want to talk about. I know we've gone over, but I wanted to talk about the new signing, the centre back,
Adebayo.
Yeah. So one thing I'd like to point out is when we discussed the signing on Thursday, we all said, or I said to be fair, that he'd got a goal in him because he'd scored something like 3 from centre half in like 30, so 1 every 10, and he scored straight away. Now he was playing out of position because he was playing left wing back, I think, or left back when he came on, but he scored the header. So Pete, what were your thoughts on the new signing? Obviously, he only played 10 or 15 minutes. What were your thoughts from what you saw?
I said he didn't get much time, but he looked all right, decent on ball, didn't he? And can tackle ball, so obviously it's a good signing, hopefully. See what he brings. We need to give him time, don't we?
Yeah. Agreed. Lee, your thoughts on him?
I thought he looked rusty, kicked the ball out a few times, but you can't knock him, he scored the winner, so getting up there, you can't fault that. I mean, it's something we've missed when we got rid of Red Thinks he could always pop up with a goal from the back, so it's nice to have somebody. And Raggett used to be that type of player, didn't he, for Portsmouth, where he'd get up and win an header and a goal, but we have missed that this season. The centre-backs haven't been scoring, so it's a welcome boost that he can score, but I hope he can pass better than what I saw on when he come on. See, some of his passing.
You start him shoot Saturday?
Would I start him? No.
Okay, fair enough. Tom, your thoughts?
Well, I thought Adebayo or Mick Dundee, as I called him last week, I thought, end of the day, look, he saved our season this week. Look, I think there's got a bit about him. I like the fact that he does interviews, and I don't know if that tweet was real, having to go at that racist piece of shit from Northampton. I don't know how real that was. But you know what? I like Emmanuel Adebayo. He's coming at left back. He's not left back. He openly admits that he just wanted to play anywhere and help the team. And look, he helped the team. And I would not put it past Matt Hamshaw to put Rafferty at wing back and play him, Jules, and Baptiste as a back three. In my opinion.
Okay, interesting. Right, read some comments, then we'll probably close off. So, Paul get some Scrandandy Russ and the Via. Felix was Dogger Dawson for all the shitty mistakes he makes, pulls loads of saves as well. Yeah, agree with that. Quote from Hammett, I'm able to see some fringe men leave to help the balance of the book. Raggett, Kelly should be gone. Yeah, hopefully you're right, Adam. New Floyd look calm, Rome was saying. I'll seem to go on, Lee.
Come back to that comment.
Yeah.
So, again, when does the man ever learn? So, he's saying, basically, he's wanting to get these players out, but he's struggling to. He said, yeah, I hope so, but I'm struggling. So, if I've got them after that, I've got them. I mean, how must that make those players feel? It's disgusting. That's what it is. And again, it's another sign that his man management skills are lacking. That's it.
Agreed, yeah. Our placings in panic machines at the minute, yeah, agreed. Russ, Bobby Mims, Alan Stevenson, first keepers when you start watching Millers. I remember Bobby Mims. I don't remember Alan Stevenson, to be fair.
No, I don't remember. Bobby Mims was quality, though.
Yeah. 1983, yeah, I wasn't quite born yet, so that's why. Don't spoil it. I hope that tweet was real. Not sure which tweet that's referring to.
It was the new signing put about the racist guy.
Right, okay.
Do we think we'll get a player in tomorrow or not? What do we reckon?
Yes, you beat me to it there, Pete. So yeah, Lee, that's probably one for you. Anywhere near a player this week, or have you not heard anything?
This Wales lad.
Apparently, the club are 99.9% sure they found the informant at the club that's telling me stuff. They found which player it is. Yeah.
Okay. Is it Miller Bear? Now there's that lad from Swansea in Wales. He's called Wales, ironically. I think look at him. Us and Northampton and Huddersfield are scrapping around for him. So I've heard. Whether that's true, he's a striker. I don't know. We should have gone for Jerry Yates, in my opinion, but never mind.
I suppose that is actually a good shout, actually. When is the second? It's interesting that the second is on Monday. So
Miller's Monday!
Yeah, we will have to do the live transfer reactions on Monday, Lee, when we do Miller's Monday. So because of that, I'll not... Go on, Lee, go on.
Can I just say, so there's big rumours going around at the moment that there's an American investment coming in. Yeah. If that was true, why have we not pushed the boat out this window? If it's all signed, ready to go, why have we not pushed the boat out, signed some permanent players for fees to guarantee we stay up? Maybe a Mullin from Wrexham, somebody like that. I think he's going to Bradford in it, but somebody of that ilk, I would think we would have had if investment is imminent. So I'd say to the people regarding the investment, I'm not so convinced that it is cut and dried like people are posting out on X at the moment. But it'll remain to be seen. But I think if an investment company had come in, I think we would have seen this window at the end us push the boat out. So if it comes, it comes.
To caveat what Lee just said there, it was the same with Carlisle United. A lot of questions was asked. I think it was a similar time. It's a seesaw here. I think the only reason that our current manager is in the job is because the current ownership will not sack somebody because it's going to cost them money. I think the investment is happening. I'm fairly certain it is. And the company I've heard is a US consortium, US multinational company. Whether it happens is remains to be seen. But look, let's hope it does. Pete?
It'd be the dream world, wouldn't it, if we do? If he's that company who I think is.
If it's American, no, he's getting the season ticket.
I am. I'm there next season, every game. Yeah. Not at the minute, I'm not. No chance. I hope it's right. I hope it is right.
Again.
Yeah, we deserve a bit, don't we? We've had crap of it years, so we deserve
Maybe
a
we
bit.
can sign Victor back.
Barlasser, yeah, get Barlasser and Benny back.
I've heard it's with the EFL at the minute, going through the process of the fit and proper owners test. That's what I've heard. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
Well, it is.
We'll see, won't we? We'll see.
It's a little bit too late because we should have got him in and got this investment for January because we need it.
Yeah. Right. A few more comments, then we'll finish, or we'll tidy up and finish there. Good man, you can find the players as well as slag them off. Agreed. Evans did that. Yeah, I completely agree. Screamed at him on the pitch and super interviewed them with their mum and dad. Yeah, agree with that. Russ, night lads, keep the faith. Yeah, night Russ. Thanks for joining.
Good on, Russ. Good on, Russ.
Cheers, Russ.
Roma, imagine us with Yank money. That would be class, wouldn't it? And Tom said, welcome, Tom. First comment actually from yourself today. American investors worked out for Birmingham and Wrexham. And yeah, let's hope that.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. 100%. If we get American investment, I'll get some caps made for the channel for everybody. And it'll say, make Rotherham great again.
Yeah.
Yeah, indefinitely.
Had to join late, so we'll catch up with the beginning of the show later. Yeah, cheers, Tom. Rotherham Gaming, snap on show. I think that's a good thing. So, Rotherham Gaming, thank you.
So snap on. He's actually.
Oh, that's the country, isn't it?
To it than what you think. So, snap on is the company.
Yeah, I know what he means. Yeah. Hammy and his team up the Millers. Knowing us there, we'd get American money and still sign loans instead. Yeah, that's typical Rotherham. Yanks love money and watched all them Rotherham health knobheads come crawling back. Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
But the thing is, what are the lefties going to do if it's American and we're all rocking up to New York in Rotherham great again caps?
Right. Well, that's it then, ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, thanks for joining. It's been a pleasure again. The viewings we've had have been incredible, so thank you very much. We will be doing a live reaction, I think, Lee, on Saturday after the Exeter game.
Yeah, live reaction after the Exeter game. I mean, the numbers for the Wimbledon game was phenomenal. We actually got more viewing our live than what the official Rotherham United channel got for Matt Amshaw's shit interview. So,
which is superb, yeah.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Absolutely brilliant.
So
Matt, you still haven't found the person that's giving me the information.
Yeah, so the support we're getting has been fantastic, so we do appreciate it. We will also have the Millers Monday show, and that could be a late one. With it being,
we'll probably extend that show on the Millers Monday to a transfer special. So whoever can, if fans want to come on and discuss any breaking news, I will put the link in the chat for fans to join us as well, like we do on the lives. So fans will be able to give instant reaction to any breaking news that we give, which will be fantastic. We can discuss the players as and when. We can have a meltdown if we don't sign anybody, which maybe we're not. Maybe we get a double whammy on that day. Maybe we get news of investment, news of some new signings.
That'd be class, wouldn't it? Class.
Because we have had a long-suffering 3 years, haven't we? Now it feels like longer, where it's just been doom and gloom. We won it in the week. Hopefully, we can follow it up this weekend.
Yeah. We've also got our sister shows Friday. I think it's the fantasy show tomorrow. And then Sunday is the Sunday show as well. So make sure you join them. And as always, up the Millers.
Whoa,
Let's take
Bez, I think we should sing happy birthday to Ronnie Moore.
Yeah, good idea.
All right, then. I'm free then. And then as soon as I finish, I'll quit off. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
the king.
Happy birthday to you.
That is fucking awesome.
See ya.